Hello and welcome to the Intermittent Fasting Gems with Jen podcast. I'm your host, Jen, a middle-aged Michigan mama, wife, and teacher who in 2021 stumbled upon this crazy cool thing called intermittent fasting. And before I knew it, I'd lost 46 pounds in 4 months and gained an incredible lifestyle filled with complete food freedom. If you're hungry for unique, no-nonsense fasting tips that actually work, you're in the right place. So whether you're walking the dog, folding that last load of laundry, or cruising to your 9 to 5, let's start fasting our way to freedom together. Hey there, fasting friends, and happy March to all of you. I'm not sure where you are listening from, but I have got to tell you, the old saying, March comes in like a lion, is definitely ringing true here in Michigan. As a matter of fact, we had a giant snowstorm just last week, and today, as I'm recording this episode, school was canceled due to extremely icy roads. So we get to that out like a lamb part of the March saying real soon. Anyways, today I'm going to be chatting with you about headaches, and I gotta tell you, I absolutely hate headaches. When I have a headache, I don't want to do anything at all, and my day feels like it's completely ruined. Before I started intermittent fasting, I was getting 3 to 4 really bad headaches a week. Since IF, however, they have been so much better. But headaches can be a real thing when you're fasting. I've learned some really great tricks to knock out and altogether avoid headaches along my intermittent fasting journey, and I want to share them with you today. So in this episode, I'll share 9 easy ways to give intermittent fasting headaches the big ol' 1-2 punch and knock them out for good. So unfortunately, a headache can be a very unpleasant side effect of intermittent fasting. Headaches are basically a signal that something a little bit wonky is going on inside your body. Intermittent fasting can sometimes trigger a tension headache, especially during the initial stages of fasting when you're new and just adjusting to that new eating pattern. The change in eating habits like skipping meals or getting a little too dehydrated during fasting may contribute to muscle tension in the head and neck, leading to these tension type fasting headaches. Let's talk about the main reasons that these intermittent fasting headaches occur. All right, so the first culprit on the list is, surprise, surprise, dehydration. Fasting may lead to insufficient fluid intake, causing dehydration, a drop in energy levels, and, those nagging hunger headaches. Next, caffeine withdrawal headaches can also stir the pot. Low blood sugar levels can also lead to intermittent fasting headaches. Poor sleep during intermittent fasting can contribute to headaches due to a few different factors. Sleep deprivation may disrupt the body's natural hormonal balance, impacting stress hormones and potentially triggering headaches. Inadequate sleep or rest can also lead to increased tension and stress, which increases the likelihood that you may get a headache during your fasting period. Next on the list is electrolyte imbalance. Prolonged fasting may cause an imbalance in essential electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium, potentially triggering severe headaches. Finally, we can't forget about stress and tension. Adjusting to a new eating pattern or feeling stressed about fasting can definitely lead to tension-related headaches. So, what can we do about it? All right, let's dive in and discover 9 easy-to-follow tips and tricks to prevent and knock out headaches during intermittent fasting. Number 1, stay hydrated and drink enough water. Dehydration can definitely contribute to fasting headaches, so be sure to drink plenty of water during your fasting window, as well as during your eating window. Water helps maintain proper hydration, supports overall bodily functions, and may alleviate potential fasting-related discomfort like headaches. Herbal teas like green tea and sparkling water are also great intermittent fasting drinks that will keep you hydrated and won't break your fast. Number 2, gradually adjust to fasting. So if you're new to intermittent fasting, consider easing into it gradually to allow your body to adjust, minimizing the likelihood of headaches. If you are new to intermittent fasting, start with short periods and gradually increase your fasting duration. I think the 30 and 3 method works really well for gradually bumping up your fast when you're just starting out. So, for example, let's say you are following a 16-8 fasting schedule and you want to gradually bump it up to an 18-6 schedule. I definitely recommend extending your fasting window by 30 minutes every 3 days until you get to your desired fasting schedule. This strategy works really well and is pretty easy on your system too. Number 3, balanced nutrition. It's really important to ensure that your eating window includes mostly whole foods and a well-balanced mix of nutrients, including carbohydrates, lean proteins, and healthy fats, to provide sustained energy and avoid blood sugar fluctuations. You can head to my website, sowhatifwithjen.com, and then to the recipes tab at the top to find about 150 easy, healthy, and free intermittent fasting weight loss recipes. Number 4, limit caffeine intake. Now, this one might be easier said than done, especially if you love your morning coffee as much as I do. But excessive caffeine consumption, especially on an empty stomach, can trigger headaches in some people. Honestly, this might be another one of those trial and error things in figuring out what works for you. For example, I know that my body does best when I get up and drink a glass of water with a pinch of mineral salt as soon as I get up and before I move into drinking my coffee for the day. Then I drink my plain black coffee for the next 4 to 5 hours, making sure to stop around 1 p.m. or so. You might need to consider moderating your black coffee or caffeine intake during your fasting periods. Just play around with it a bit and find what works best for you, because finding a good caffeine-coffee balance for your body is definitely key. Number 5, manage your stress. Ha ha. You might be saying, yeah, well, that's easier said than done. I get it. But this is definitely something that I have had to really try and consciously be better at, because chronic stress can and will contribute to headaches. Incorporate stress management techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, yoga. And since those 3 things, if they work for you, awesome. Yoga's not my cup of tea, so I would prefer light jogging, walking, a little bit of exercise. So for me, I like to take my mini golden doodle buddy on a walk every night after dinner. It's probably my favorite part of the whole entire day, and it helps me to wind down from the day. I just pop in my earbuds and listen to an exciting true crime podcast episode while I'm walking him. And for those 25 to 30 minutes, I just completely unwind, de-stress, and it's just the best. So moving on to number 6, get adequate sleep. Lack of sleep can for sure be a headache trigger. Prioritize a consistent and sufficient sleep schedule. Try strategies like never going to bed feeling too hungry or too stuffed, or spraying a stress-relieving lavender mist on your pillow each night. Whatever works for you, but really prioritize that sleep. Number 7 is a really big one and one that has helped me so much. monitor electrolytes. So intermittent fasting may absolutely lead to changes in electrolyte balance, and electrolyte imbalances can cause really annoying headaches. Consider including an easy-to-use electrolyte supplement like Element, LMNT. It's my absolute favorite. I've mentioned it in probably half of my podcast episodes so far. I am not sponsored by them. I just love it so much. I have been using the raw, unflavored Element electrolyte supplement for about 4 years now because it really, really works. I will go ahead and leave the link for you all again on my podcast recommendation page so that you can check out Element if you are interested. Number 8, eye care. This might seem like a weird one, but extended screen time, especially while intermittent fasting, can strain your eyes and contribute to headaches. And so many of us are in front of computer screens nowadays. So you want to make sure to take regular breaks and ensure proper lighting. Additionally, try practicing the 20-20-20 rule whenever possible. This rule suggests that for every 20 minutes of screen time, you take a 20-second break and look at something 20 feet away. This helps alleviate eye fatigue, prevent digital eye strain, and it encourages regular breaks for your eyes during tasks that involve extended screen time. This is a trick that I've started using to help avoid headaches, and it really does work. So give it a try. And finally, number 9, listen to your body. Pay close attention to how your body responds to fasting and adjust your fasting schedule accordingly. Additionally, it's important to maintain a consistent fasting schedule that will help manage blood sugar and insulin levels. And while we're talking about listening to your body, if you are feeling extra hungry during your fasting window, you can absolutely try one of my tricks like drinking some sparkling mineral water to knock out hunger so you can fast longer. However, if that doesn't work, you may be truly hungry. So what I say to that is listen closely to your body, and you may just need to break your fast early and actually eat. This absolutely may help you to avoid getting a nagging intermittent fasting headache. All right, so there are 9 easy ways to help you avoid intermittent fasting headaches. I did, however, want to dive a little deeper into the tip regarding food because when it comes to avoiding headaches, it's really helpful to focus on a well-balanced and nutrient-rich diet. So specifically, I want to give you some of the worst and some of the best foods to consider when it comes to intermittent fasting headaches. All right, let's start with the bad stuff. Number 1, processed foods with high levels of additives, preservatives, and artificial sweeteners found in processed foods absolutely may contribute more to headaches for some individuals. Number 2 is alcohol. Excessive alcohol consumption can absolutely lead to dehydration, which again is probably the most common cause of headaches. 3, this one is a weird one, but believe it or not, some certain aged cheeses. Some people are very sensitive to tyramine found in aged cheeses, and consuming them may trigger headaches. It's just something to keep in mind because it may bother some people and not bother others, but you can find the highest levels of tyramine in aged cheddar, Gouda, blue cheese, brie, and Swiss cheeses. 4, artificial additives. And this is another really big one. So MSG and certain artificial sweeteners like aspartame that can be found in high amounts in diet sodas and sugar-free gums may be headache triggers for some people. All right, let's move on to the good food for you. The absolute best headache avoiding foods are hydrating foods, especially water-rich fruits and vegetables like watermelon and cucumbers. Magnesium-rich foods. So magnesium is linked to headache prevention, and foods like spinach, nuts, like almonds, and also avocados are great sources of magnesium-rich foods. Ginger is known for its anti-inflammatory properties, and it absolutely may help relieve headaches too. And guess what? Ginger is considered one of the 4 best spices for weight loss too, which is why I use it in my 7-ingredient ACV fast-breaking drink every single day. Dark leafy greens. So dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are rich in B vitamins, which can support overall brain health and help knock out headaches. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish like salmon, flax seeds, and walnuts may also help reduce inflammation and alleviate headaches. And finally, bone broth. Bone broth is an excellent choice during intermittent fasting because it provides essential electrolytes like magnesium and potassium and helps maintain hydration and prevent headaches. Plus, the presence of amino acids and collagen in bone broth can support overall well-being and alleviate potential discomfort. If you want to learn more about how to use bone broth to enhance your intermittent fasting journey, be sure to go back to episode number 30 of this podcast, where I share all of those benefits plus an easy and super delicious crockpot rotisserie chicken bone broth recipe with all of you. So that's it. You can definitely avoid or at least drastically cut down on the amount of intermittent fasting headaches you get by, number 1, staying plenty hydrated. 2, gradually adjusting to your preferred fasting routine or schedule. Number 3, eating a balanced diet. 4, figuring out the right caffeine body balance for you. Number 5, purposely weaving stress-relieving activities into your day. 6, getting adequate sleep. 7, balancing your electrolytes and possibly using an electrolyte supplement like Element. Number 8, paying attention to eye care. And finally, number 9, listening closely to your body. I really would love to connect with you personally and chat about your intermittent fasting journey. You can find me on Pinterest, TikTok, YouTube, and I do a little bit of Instagram, but the absolute best places to connect with me are on my website, sowhatifwithjen.com, and inside of my free intermittent fasting Facebook support group, So What If with Jen. Have yourself the absolute best day ever, and I can't wait to catch up with you in the next episode of the Intermittent Fasting Gems with Jen. Hey, thank you so much for choosing to spend part of your day listening to this episode of the Intermittent Fasting Gems with Jen podcast. If you think these tips could help a friend or a family member, please consider sharing this episode with them. And if you really enjoyed the show, taking a minute or 2 to leave a positive review would be so appreciated. Tune in for new 15 to 25-minute episodes released on the 10th, 20th, and 30th of each month. Episodes will feature solo shows filled with IF hacks that have worked for me, as well as episodes where I get to chat with fun folks of all ages who've experienced incredible success with intermittent fasting. If you have questions or want more unique intermittent fasting health and weight loss tips, tricks, and recipes, please visit my website and blog at sowhatifwithjen.com. Finally, we'd love to welcome you into our free intermittent fasting Facebook support group, So What If with Jen. Find all of these links in the show notes below. And as always, I hope you spend your day loving without fear and laughing until your cheeks hurt.